Hey guys, it's Burgas here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my account update over the October. Yeah, right now it's October. What actually changed for me, and yeah, basically let's jump. First thing first, I think the majority of the people know that I push for the greatest heights and I get 50 million in the troops. This is pure troops, no hero updates and something like this, just from there. So right now my legions, obviously I have a lot of in the hospital that I need to heal up, but I have like over 2 million infantry. I think it's like 2.3 million infantry. I have like 3 million celestials, 1.6 maybe 1.7 million Vestos, and everything else was turned from tier 4 to tier 5. As you can see, the ballista is close to 1 million, the cavalry for sure is like 1 million, and I have like 121 donkeys. So this is in form of allegiance. We get pretty decent, I get pretty decent boost in form of troops. From there, obviously immediately I cannot ignore this thing, but my elixir production jump with 500k or half million daily free healing I'm going to receive when I start playing in the next kvk and etc. So this is pretty nice boost. From there I'm going to jump over the deaths I'm having till now. It's like 57k. It's mostly majority is going to be the celestials, some vestals and some infantry. We're going to have the return units that we can actually get. This is at the end of the season, the last 7 days. During this time you can use return seals to revive up to 90% of the units in your basically here. I think this is a great change from cow dragons because people are going to keep their elixir production. Very important, since you know when you get deaths, and these deaths you return 50%, but this 50% sometimes get result in so much. I get one time rally and I end up with 210k deaths, which reflect like 60k daily elixir down in form of my hospitals. So I think this is very nice. Now let's jump over the next thing. This is the heroes. I fully awaken 6-star Ming. This is one of the new heroes in cow dragons. The other hero that I get Gromara from the strongest ward when I was pushing for the greatest heights. The strongest ward was in the same time, so I managed to hit place number 8 and get Gromara. Right now Gromara is like 5111, 6-star, and you still need some leveling up. It's like level 51, which you know is not full legion, 300k full legion, and having more troops on the battlefield, you're doing just more damage after all. So I think this is maybe one of the biggest changes on my account from point of the heroes. I have the 2 new heroes, I have tested them, I have some reports and etc. Ming, wild hero. Gromara, I managed to level up her like 15 levels just in PvP. But yeah, so far I still need some tests when she become the strongest version of herself. That means some of the spells like this one, the Legion deals 5% more hero skill damage, can go up to 15%. Dealing magic damage has 50% chance to increase the Legion magic attack by 1% for 5 seconds. This is 5 stacks. Obviously this is the synergy with Ming, because Ming non-stop are doing magic skill damage like every 2 seconds. So for sure you're going to get this 5 stacks, can go up to 25%. 5%, 5 stacks, 25%. Very solid, very decent damage dealing combo. But for now I think to put Gromara alone, because she's having a skill talent tree and I really need this skill talent tree. The way I'm building this hero is skill damage, critical rate, synergy, and getting this extra hero skill damage. Also I'm looking for some march speed. The way I'm building my Ming is actually just skill damage here, some critical rate, synergy. This thing, by the way, proc when, even though that is not a rage skill, it's a hero skill damage. I mean, when he do some fighting, he's having this spell that is going to give you buffs like 10% defense, 3 stacks. So this thing is going to proc so much, very important to be mentioned. On top of that, the build for Gromara is absolutely the same. She's also providing some kind of buffs. Now this is so far for the heroes. Since we get gold chest right now, we have Goresh in the gold chest. I managed to level up 1 level of this skill. Obviously this one is locked for now, so I can actually get this one to level 5. Very nice update from Cow of Dragons. I get so much tokens for Goresh, and I think it's going to be a very nice leveled up. From there I'm going to jump to Kuma, if I find Kuma, of course. Kuma right now actually managed to level up. The first spell was like 5, but in the process, in this 1 month, I make this one to level 2 and this one to level 3. I still, so far I'm going to continue going for the Kuma because we're not having the new heroes, but the moment Gromara show up here, I'm going to switch from Kuma to Gromara. This is actually the plan. Something else, do I actually miss from the heroes? No, I don't think so. Yeah, oh, okay, so this is for the heroes. Let's talk about the pets. Now, from point of pets, I actually get lucky and I get 1 pet that... This is from Wild Hunt outside the castle. I managed to get this one legendary. I make this spell level 2 because I think Seraphic Firedrak is extremely desired pet. So I make this one like 2-star, and I'm hoping somebody buy this 2-star just because of the 2-star. Because you cannot buy pet talent skill. So this is one of the things I actually did. I start selling this one. It's like 144 is a solid amount, but it is what it is. It's something that I catch outside if nobody buy this pet for some reason. Either the price is too big or etc. I'm going to try to sell it, so I'm going to spend like 300 gems over this pet, and if nobody buy it, I'm going to just use it over this pet that currently I'm working on. Is 200, so I'm needing like 2 more 2-stars to make it 400, and I'm going to start buying the rest of the spells. Maybe I should actually start buying the rest of the spells. So yeah, some other pets. Flaming Manticore, I get it for testing. I make it a legendary one, but in form of testing is performing nice in specific situations. I have to mention that. I have a video coming, or I think it should be already on, about the Flaming Manticore with some tests with this pet, but this is something new that I have new pets here. So far I'm going to continue trying to, you know, upgrade my pet skills. Skill upgrade, why don't show me? Oh yeah, we have some technical issues, let's say like this. But yeah, I'm actually working over this pet. I'm going to just and upgrade this spell. It cost not gonna lie, it costs to actually gather all of these small skills here, but to get this type of things is little hard. By the way, this one costs a lot, so I'm going to be happy with either outcomes. Yeah, I sell it for 875, so this one is going to get sealed because I just don't use this. Oh brother, I don't use this type of pets. So yeah, this is in form of pets, working slowly over the pets. I have like 2 more warrants for today, and yeah, most likely I'm going to try to make the Flaming Manticore this spell level 2, and maybe try to use it more on the battlefield, see how the things go. The intelligence is not that bad, the luck is also not that bad, the spirit is bad, but we're going to see what we're going to happen. So far from the ambers. We're having this one that is actually spirit related. Damage do extra 27%, so not so sure I'm going to go with this one. We're going to see. I mean, I want to see how the pet is performing. Now from there, I mean, in more battles, because so far I use Ming with Seraphic Fire Drag, because when I run 4 legions, I prefer to have a pet with 3-star skill right away, and not actually having pet like this that is not developed that much. It's level 1, so the damage this one is doing is going to be way bigger, way bigger from normal. So this is so far for the pets. I didn't focus over any sand lizard and etc. Maybe it should be a good idea to actually focus a little there. Now let's talk about the artifacts, my favorite. So far, if you guys watch my videos, you're going to know that I get this artifact, I guess Dragon Fate. Now, from the Forge of Light, I managed to get 2 Dragon Fates, which, you know, it makes this one level 2. And for artifacts throwback, when you can handpick the artifact you're looking for, I think this is the best artifact event in Call of Dragons. If somebody's, it's like 60k and you're going to get the artifact you're looking for. There is, you know, in Forge of Light, you have to prepare it 270 to get it. Maybe it's going to be there, maybe it's not going to be there. Nobody knows, but this one is something that I invest. It's level 3, 80% chance to do the additional damage. I think this 80% to do additional damage factor is what separate this artifact from the rest of the artifacts, and what make this artifact absolutely crazy. Because for 90 seconds or minute and a half, the mage artifact gets triggered. So for this 90 seconds, you're having like, if this thing is maxed on level, you're having like 45 hits with this artifact. Let's say it like this. Okay, sometimes you may hit, sometimes you go back, you don't hit, and etc. Let's say it's going to be from 45 to 30 hits you're going to have for sure. So this is end up with 3000 extra damage on top of that, additional damage. And if it's like 120, it's going to be 3.6k till the artifact gets ready to be triggered again. So 3.6k on top of that, AoE damage 4.5. This artifact is the most strong artifact for mages that exist right now in Call of Dragons. So yeah, I heavily invest in this bad boy. Now, some other artifact that I also get, because right now, just by getting so much troops, I don't care about the troops anymore. My heroes is close to be fully done for the mage main. After this, I'm going to focus a little over some cavalry, maybe some infantry, just to have something else to do, because right now I'm going to have stamina issue the majority of the cases. The other artifact that I get in the process is this one. This is, what was his name? A Greymar hammer. Now, what I really like over this artifact is he immediately do the stuns. I mean, deals diffused damage for enemy legions in designated circle. On top of that, is doing some damage, and damaged legions are stunned for 4 seconds. Now, something that I have to mention is that the stun, when the target is stunned, is not doing counter attack, if I remember right, or something like this. So if you have in the front lines some infantry with this artifact, the enemy infantry is not going to do counter attack, which is going to increase the survivability of your damage dealers behind. So yeah, this effect can be triggered once every 10 seconds. This is the skill effect. And obviously when you make it max, it is going to be 5 target, but I think 4 target is decent amount of target, especially with the stuns. Very solid. Infantry defense, legion defense, this is something that I really need for my legion. So just by going with Spirit Bone Torque and Greymar's hammer, I think these two things can actually make my infantry, I can run like 2 legions infantry there. Now, something else that I get from the throwback artifact, is maybe I think I get my sword one blade level 5 if I remember right, or not exactly. And yeah, I get other artifacts like this one, Breath of Forest, which, you know, I don't plan to level up this thing. It's level 5. I mean, I have like 5 to make it level 5, but I'm waiting for Exampor so I can actually sell those things. Now, from point of the resources, maybe this is going to be an interesting part for you guys, because yeah, the 50 million push drains so much mana and other resources. I was having like 2.5 billion mana and I end up with 346 or 300 million mana. Right now the resources is looking like this. In the items I have some millions, but the majority is what actually left from my greatest push. It's not that much. Most likely I'm not going to have that much resources to do some crazy healings. This is from point of the resources. Here, yeah, I'm still collecting some forge artifact keys when the forge of light actually come. From point of speed ups, I use everything. Right now I have like 2, 3, 4, 40 days in speed up, 41 days in speed ups, that I can actually use general speed ups, training speed ups on in form of my 3000 that I was having, and I make this 50 million push. I'm very far away. I'm very far away. It's like this is like 1.3 or 1.4% from what I was having. Still having the building speed ups that I'm going to trade if the event, this event where you trade your building speedups for training speedups arrive in Call of Dragons, so I'm prepared with some building speedups and research speedups. I think the majority of the people know that, but right now in the season policies, when you start some policy, let's say this one, just going to start it, Alliance help, and you have speed up and you can use research speedups. I think this is a great thing from Call of Dragons, where you can basically finish your policy with research speed up and no longer spend like 80 gems, because 80 gems just to make like 3 skills with 10 levels is going to reflect like 2.4k gems, which, you know, is saving gems. This change save gems and etc. So is there something that I actually missed? We already speak about the heroes, artifacts, pets, troops, legions. I think I actually cover everything in this video for my account update. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit one like, subscribe to this channel if you're new here and you're interested in Call of Dragons content. I wish you a great day, and yes, see you in the next video, next stream maybe. We're going to have wild days, and yeah, bye bye for now.